Guys, let me get rid of this little logo here in the corner here. I don't need that there because this is not Smirch. This is not Smirch. There we go. Hi, welcome to my daily live stream that I'm going to be doing. I've decided to do my best to do it every single day until the end of the year. Why? I'm just trying to get organized, trying to figure out what works, what I like, what you guys like, and also challenge myself to, I don't know if you listen to the Lex and Terry show, I'm talking about living life full spread eagle. And this is going to show you that I'm going to live life spread eagle. I'm going to share with you some of my most embarrassing thoughts I believe that I've had. I don't know if these are embarrassing or not, to be honest with you. I have not read them. These are things that I've saved over the months or years or whatever that I think are ideas. Okay, that I think there's something to talk about. Let's see. Let's see here. I can't even half the time I can't even read my writing. All right, well, let's try this one. Here we go. Let's try this one. This one says, you can see in my writing, it says, do you feel like there's something special that is dying to get out? Do you? Let me open up the chat. Do you feel like something is inside of you that's dying to get out? Hello, Gator Sam. Hello, Dave. Well, here's what I wrote. Apparently, I wrote down, here's what you need to do. like I got all the answers. Like I got all the answers. Oh, this is good. Here's what you need to do. Do it. Woo! I got it. It says rent a cabin in the woods to write, take a seminar, get quiet. You have nothing to lose. A lot of that is true. A lot of that is actually sound advice. I've often thought about wanting to get out and just be by myself a little bit, whether it's a cabin in the woods or a beach or something like that. Not that I want to be away from Sherry. If I could talk Sherry into going and leaving my ass alone, that'd be good. Danny, live and spread eagle, baby. I like it. That's kind of catching on, isn't it? Let's see here. This is another one that I wrote. I feel things I used to look at as a curse is now a blessing. Better decisions, etc. Let's see here. How do I want to expand on that? Well, that's true. A lot of things in my life and a lot of things in everybody's life. In fact, I think I just kind of did a post about this on Instagram. You think are horrible. You think that it's the worst case scenario, the worst thing that could ever happen to you. And I've learned over time that it's not. It's not. There are plenty worse things that could happen to you. And if you choose to learn from it and to grow from it, you can. So I think that's pretty relevant. Let's see what this one does. Boop. Haven't read it. I'm still the guy who couldn't get on the college radio station. I'm still the guy that was the worst on my basketball team. But I know this shit. What do I know? I know how to be the worst guy on my basketball team. I think anybody could do that. I'm still the guy who get it. You know what? I kind of am. And I feel that the reason why I wrote this down was I might have some sort of chip on my shoulder because I couldn't get on my college radio station. There was one college that I went to that I did get on there. But at one college, they wouldn't let me on. I didn't have a radio voice. And it took me forever. And it really was discouraging because I loved it. I wanted it so bad. And then being the worst guy on the basketball team, yeah, I don't know how the worst guy on the basketball team got to play for money a little bit in Australia. I don't know how the hell that happened. Hard work, dedication, from being the last guy off of the bench in high school basketball to being pretty much the last guy off of the bench in college to being a guy that gets to play for a little bit of cash. How the hell did that work? What a great experience. And I think it just goes to show you if you stick to something, at least that's what I'm getting from this. If you stick to something good's going to come from it. So that's good. All right, let's see what the next one is. How can people in the same family have the same experiences? Drunk dad, one, I don't know, I can't read my writing. Yeah, and it's weird because in my family, I didn't have the same experiences as my brother and sister had, and because I came along much later. So I didn't have the same experiences. And I think because of that, we all grew up a little differently, you know? And I think it's weird because a lot of people think, hey, you're family, you're the same person. You're not. You all had different challenges. You all had parents going through different things at different stages in their life. You had that. And you had to deal with it. Maybe your parents, when I was growing up, my parents didn't have any money. The dreams were gone. My dad was very ill and confined to a wheelchair. They were getting by paycheck to paycheck or handout to handout from somebody. And my brothers and sisters didn't have that same experience. So there you go. Let's see here. Yeah, bro, but you had them looks in the 80s. You could have been on Full House. Yeah, I did have, I did have that going on. All right, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Let's see here. Some people born smart, but not me. Hey, John, good to see you. My parents knew my limitations. This is a true story here. The people that are born smart and are given all kinds of opportunities, sometimes they rise to the occasion. Sometimes they live up to their expectations and they take the help that's been given to them and they turn something out of nothing, into help. But I don't think that it's many as people like me that were not born super smart. My parents knew my limitations. I've talked about this before. I guess it was a thing that was going on because I've heard other people in my age range talk about this. And it's really strange because my parents wanted me to get a job working at the post office. They encouraged me to take some sort of government test where I could pass, like, do you know your alphabet? Can you figure out what streets are what streets and all that? And I wasn't offended by that until a little bit later on in life. Right now, I'm kind of pissed off at my parents. I know they were just worried about me. I know they just wanted the best for me, but they didn't see in me what I saw in me. So that was pretty tough. When your parents don't think you really have all that is, I know they just, and be honest, had I followed through with that and done it at the time they did it, let's just say I stuck it all the way through, I'd be retired right now. I would have a pension. I would, it's so there's nothing wrong with that at all. All right, Lee, good to see you, man. People tell you we're born smart, but in reality, I'm just a listener. Really? Okay, Matt, I got you. Let's see here. New successful on reverse motivation. Now I want to get great, not just getting by. I wrote this about something a long time ago, which remains true. I don't want to just get by. I've never wanted to just get by. Even though it appears that I am just getting by, I'm still trying to rise to a whole nother level. I'm still trying to be great at something that that I have no business doing. Let's see here, John. But back then it was a pretty good, stable gig. That's probably I'm sure that's what it was, John. But I am a little bit offended that, maybe it's because I didn't express to them early on some of my goals or some of my dreams. And I didn't do that because I didn't know. I had no idea what I wanted to do until I finally saw somebody do it. Get used to hearing the word no. I just did something on that not that long ago, so I'm going to go ahead and dump that one. I'm at the point in my life, like me, cool. If you don't, great. We're not for each other. I wrote this a long time ago, and I have to be honest, I haven't lived up to this. I have not lived up to this until recently, until probably maybe about 6 weeks ago. Something clicked in me to where I'm not that concerned. And I think it's age, or maybe it's acceptance, maybe accepting where I am in life, maybe knowing I'm not going to be some sort of, leading man, or accepting my age, accepting where I am in life, and really enjoying the moment. And yeah, I'm not at the point in my life where, yeah, that's true. And I am a thing. Yeah, of course, I like people to like me. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not cheering for people to dislike me. I don't need that chip on my shoulder. I don't need that kind of motivation. I don't need to ask for it, at least, because I get it all the time. I'm sure if any of you spend time online posting things, you're pissing somebody off. And you just, over the years, you just kind of get used to it. So, all right, if you're just tuning in, by the way, I'm going through these cards that I found in my desk that I had written a long time ago, and I've saved them for some reason. And I am now reading these without reading them earlier. I haven't prior read these things. Why do I love baseball? It's a metaphor for life. Failure, losing season, small victories, make Hall of Fame career. Yeah, that's true. And it's especially good time to think about that right now with the World Series going on. Think about baseball. I believe that it is a great metaphor for life. I think that baseball, when you get a hit at one out of every three or four at bats, I mean, one every three at bats, you're hitting pretty good. You're hitting for average. You're getting a good average. You do that over a course of 8 to 12 seasons, you're probably going to be an all-star. I mean, a Hall of Famer. You might do it. It's all these small little victories that add up in life. And sometimes, I'll admit it, I am not good at recognizing any small victory I have. I'm not good at recognizing any big victory I have. I think I need to get better at that. That one's going to make me think for a while. I might put that one to the side. All right, let's see here. When you go from dreaming to believing, it's a good start. When you go, oh yeah, this is something that I follow for a lot. Okay. When you go from dreaming to believing, that's a good start. You got a dream, you believe you could do it. That's great. That's the way I start all of my stuff. I have these dreams. I try to do something about it. And I believe that I can make something happen. I believe that, and I know that I've got to work and things like that at it. But when you go from believing you can do something to knowing it's yours, to knowing you got this, that's when your life changes. And if I could come up with some sort of a recipe to how to get to that level in certain areas of your life, because it's happened to me many times. Any time that I go from believing I could do something to knowing it's happening, my whole life changes. It just does. Hello to everybody in the chat room. Good to see you guys here. Maybe they thought I was special. Like, how do you mean that, dude? I'm almost afraid to ask. Hello to everybody, by the way, in Twitch, on YouTube, and Facebook. I'm doing this live stream challenge every day. I'm going to be live streaming to the end of the year. I do have a great gang of two coming up with an unbelievable email. And I'm just doing all kinds of other things. Got chaos. I've got other things that I have going on. So, and this was just, I had something fall in my lap. I opened up a shelf and a drawer and moving. I threw this in there and I'm going, what are these from? I don't even remember writing all these down. This says, come up with your own creed. Live by it. Who are you? Follow it. Crush it. Yeah, I believe so. And I've written something down about who I am and the way I want to be represented and the way I want to live my life. And it means coming up with your own creed. What are your values? What do you stand for? Where do you fit in your community? Where do you do all that stuff? And by that, coming up with your own creed and living by it, you're going to become who you've always wanted to be. So there you go. I think that's not a bad one either. Some of these aren't so bad. So far, not one of them has been like really embarrassing like I thought. Martin, I listened to you in the morning and I've been listening to you in the evening. I appreciate you, Terry. Thank you for years of memories. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. If I click on that, I could do that. Look, oh yeah, I could do that. I'm going to do that from now on. Great. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. How do I turn it off? How do I do that? I guess hit hide. All right. There we go. All right. Don't be intimidated by anyone. Kind of self explanatory, don't you think? That's something that I've been pretty good at. You know, you get to meet a lot of celebrities in this job. You get to be around a lot of people that are living their life hard and making their dreams come true. And there's no need to be intimidated by anybody at all. In fact, you should learn from them. You should pick up on that energy and just stand right up to them, look them eye to eye. They are no better than you. If they have better education, so what if they went to Harvard? You figured your way out of a dead end job at a grocery store. They don't have the same skills as you have. And there's no need to be intimidated by anybody whatsoever. All right, let's see here. I'm a late starter. I always have been. That's true. I was a late starter in basketball, like I talked about earlier. I was a late starter in dating, in the dating world and everything else. And any of my friends can verify that too. I was a late starter in the radio industry. Took me forever to get my first full-time radio job. I thought it was never going to happen. And I was getting pretty close to the point of saying, well, maybe all those people are right about me. Maybe I don't have the radio voice. Maybe I don't have anything. And I tried so hard to sound like a radio guy. Good morning, 99.9 KTYD. That is not an exaggeration. That is what I tried to do because that's what I thought everybody wanted. It wasn't until I started to be myself, which I've continued to work on. And I think I'm really now stepping into who I truly am over all these years. And yeah, it's a late start, just a late start. Let's see here. Let's see there. This is what Kelly says. Older I get, the hyper awareness I am, I realize I have no control over much of anything. Life is too precious. We miss Ian and we need to no, we don't need to do that. But I will say this. You're right, Kelly, about this. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. There are many things that you have control over. Anybody that says they don't have control over stuff just hasn't really tapped into their true potential. You have control over the way you react to every situation that's in front of you, whether it's somebody cutting you off, whether it's somebody doing a good deed for you, whether it's a job interview, whatever it is, you have the ability to put your best foot forward and show who you truly are or what you represent by your reactions. You're in much more control over your future than anything else. Let's go to this. Let's go to Michael. Michael, been listening to you on the radio for 16 years and enjoy the podcast that you do. Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I'm loving it. I would not be doing this if I didn't love it. I wouldn't mind getting paid for this, but but I'm nowhere close to that right now. I'm nowhere close to that right now. But I'm not really bringing people that much value. And I know that. I'm working on that right now. I think this is fun right here. I didn't expect this to be so fun. I was expecting myself to pull these cards out of the drawer, things that I'd written down over the years, and just laugh at myself. And I'm very good at laughing at myself. I expected to be a lot of comedy here, but there's some serious stuff in here. This one says, so many people think having a mate will make everything better. Love yourself first. That's all you need. You know what? That's true. That's an absolute true story. If you don't love yourself, there's no way you could love anybody else. And I've seen too many people get into relationships because they don't want to be alone. Big mistake. Huge mistake. You know, that is a huge mistake right there. So many people think having a mate, no. No, if it's the right person, they could definitely enhance your life for sure. Thank you, Jason. If it's the wrong person and you stick with it, your voice, you've learned some lessons, but you did it for the wrong reason. All right, let's see here. Man, this is really good. Let's see. I might have to break this up into a couple of sessions here. Let's see here. It's good to be stolen, subtle, to be a kind. What does that mean? I don't know what I wrote there. It's good to be true, to be a kind person, but that's not enough. You have to contribute too. Yes. Yes, Terry, you are a smart son of a bitch. I believe this. I believe this. I think, being a kind person just means saying hi and accepting and everything else. But I think you need to contribute. I think you need to add something to whether it's your neighborhood, your family, your community, your friends. You got to bring something to the table all the time. You just have to do it. And when you bring something to the table, you're really cooking with gas then. All right, let's see here. By the way, if you're just tuning in, hello to everybody on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. I found a bunch of cards in my drawer here for moving that I written down. I don't remember when I wrote these down. And I'm reading these off to see what happens. This is good. I can finally clear some stuff and throw these things away. It's good to be, I already did that one. Good to be, let's see here. So many people think having a mate will make everything better. I did that. I did that one. There's two of those. I wrote two of those down. Boy, I must have been going through something then. Hello to everybody in the chat, by the way. I'm a late starter. I did that too. I did that. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm reading I'm reading all the wrong ones. I picked up the wrong file. Okay, I'm stupid. Okay. All right. This is one here is 100% true. And I think that if you could feel my energy right now, and you could feel my energy on the Lex and Terry show, if you could feel my energy on anything that I bring to YouTube or anything else, this is 100% true. It says, when I'm talking to others about stuff like this right now, this is when I feel the most alive, is what it says. And this is something that I need to remember because I have a purpose. I found my purpose a long time ago. I haven't lived up to all my potential, but I have found my purpose. And I'm very lucky to know why I'm here and to know what I want to bring to the world. And I hope that you guys get that as well. It's not an easy thing to get, and it's a very relieving thing to get. So there you go, Jamie. I agree with you. I let's see. Hey Terry, that it says. Jamie also said, let's see her show on. I agree with you. I appreciate that. I really hope you guys could feel that I love what I'm doing. It's not an act. None of this is an act. And the stuff that I'm doing, although people could razz me and say that I keep throwing things up against the wall, this is who I am. I just love it. Seeing you guys here and interacting with you, I'm going to sign off today just feeling so much better. And it's great. Look at this. One of my favorite people, Psychic Kami. Hello, Kami. I hope you're doing well. One of my very favorite people. You should follow her, guys. She does great stuff. She's doing great stuff on her Facebook page and everything else. Let's see here. Okay. Here's something vulnerable that it says. I'm ready for this one. Hope you guys are. I got into this work because I didn't want to be invisible anymore. I almost cried there. I started to tear up there. I got into this work because I didn't want to be invisible anymore. Still need that person, that one person, still need that one person to believe in me, is what it says. Over the years, I've had a lot of people believe in me. but there's a difference between people believing in you and people in your industry believing in you. And that's a hard thing. I got into this work because I didn't want to be invisible anymore. Am I crazy? Is that weird? Is that needy? Is that unhealthy? That's something I'm going to need to think about on this thing. It's a little weird. All right, let's see here. I need to believe in miracles again. Well, I could probably tell you when I started to write this. I went through many years in a row believing that I had some sort of magic to me, and believing that not only are miracles around me, but I am capable of accepting miracles and seeing them. No matter what size they are, I am somebody who doesn't believe there's a different size of miracles. I think a miracle is a miracle. I think getting that parking spot when you're running late. I think winning the lottery. I think all of that stuff is an absolute miracle that should be recognized. And I felt very powerful at one time that I felt like I could make all kinds of things happen. And I lost it. I lost it when I started to make things happen. I started to get extremely cocky. And I've been struggling. I'll tell you right now, I have been struggling to feel miraculous and to feel worthy of miracles again. And I'm working on it. I'm putting that in the work pile. And I'm not as tragic as that sounds, but yeah, I'm struggling. You guys haven't? Am I boring the living shit out of you guys? Am I boring the living hell out of you guys? Let me see here. Yeah, probably. I don't know. There's quite a few people online right now, but you're probably just here for the train wreck. Cynics are just people who don't believe in you. Man, I must have been going through a believing thing here when I was writing these down. They don't believe in innovation. They don't believe in themselves. Fuck them. Yeah, cynics are cynics. I mean, what is the definition of a cynic? Let me see here right here. What is the true definition of a cynic? And I imagine that the definition is something that is exactly what I said. A person who believes that people are motivated purely by self-interest rather than acting honorable or for unselfish reasons. Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it. Let's see here. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. People are saying that everything's good right now. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for dealing with this. Maybe I'll get through all these cards. I got a World Series to watch here in a minute. Okay, that should disappear any time. Okay, here we go. Another one. Boopity boopity boop. This may be the last time cheeseburgers. Oh, okay. All right. This is kind of a morbid one. I must have been going through wondering about my life and death and everything else and wanting to live in the moment, wanting to enjoy the moment. Because I'll be honest, I could talk myself out of good times sometimes. It says this may be the last time you have a cheeseburger. This may be the last time you see a loved one. This may be the last time you went to a ball game. Not to be morbid, just a reminder to be all in and to say, and I'm going to change that from being all in to living a life that is spread eagle. If you listen to the show, you're rolling your eyes, but I'm digging it. People are accepting the spread eagle. I'm going to do something with that. There's something there, and I'm blaming you sons of bitches for it. All right. By the way, if you want to comment or ask a question, you can on the chat right now. I'll take them as well. Obviously, you see where my mind's at right now. And if you're going through something, I'll be glad to, I'm not going to, tell you what to do. But yeah, I'll do that for you guys. All right. Hello, Martin. Good to see you, buddy. Hell yeah to you, baby. The type of person I admire. The type of person I admire. Oh man, there are so many people I admire. And I admire them and let them know that I admire them. Some people I admire from afar. I I've been very blessed when it comes to seeing people do random acts of kindness. I admire those people. I see somebody working their ass off somewhere. I went to this restaurant the other day. There's a Mexican restaurant in town, and there was a woman behind the counter making the food. And she looked like she was in her 70s. Looked like she had just been doing it all along for years. And I couldn't take my eyes off of her. I was so inspired and full of love for that bitch. I can't help myself. I admire so many people. I think that you could walk around all day long and find 50 people a day that have some sort of quality about them, even if they're an asshole, have some sort of quality about them that you admire. That's pretty deep, not wanting to be invisible. Come right from your childhood example. Big gap with your sibling. It could be. It could be, Craig. I don't feel that I really need to look into that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go back to that. I might actually do a whole show on that. Obviously, it touched a nerve with me. And I think I may need to get some more bull crap out of there with that. All right, let's see here. Do I have time to get all these? Let's see what happens. All right. I have no expectations of people doing something for me. On the rare time they do, I'm genuinely touched. Yeah. I never expect anybody to do anything for me. I never expect my wife to do anything for me. I'll never ask her, hey, babe, could you bring me some water? Even though that's just a random act of kindness and a cool thing, I never expect anybody to ever do anything for me. And when there's somebody, on the rare occasions that somebody goes out of their way, and I've had many people do it, don't get me wrong, that somebody goes out of their way, I am genuinely touched, and I'm extremely appreciative of somebody seeing something in me where they want to contribute to something, want to just share a show that I do or put a like on something. I'm touched by the little acts of kindness. It's, and when you're doing this job, when you're doing things like this, most people want to attack you. And when somebody reaches out, and it's much like I believe in miracles too, when somebody does something kind, there's no, oh, that's nicer than what the other person did. Some people have donated money, and some people have bought t-shirts, and I really appreciate it. That's what keeps this thing going. And it's really cool. So yeah, I have no expectations. So when something doesn't happen, I don't go, how come nobody's cared? It's tough. It's tough. Let's go with this. Randy, hey, I'm with you. Don't ask anyone for anything if possible. If possible. If push comes to shove, like if my life doesn't go the way that I'm kind of visualizing it right now, my next 8 to 10 years, if it doesn't go the way I'm visualizing, I've been honest and upfront with you guys. My big fear is that Sherry and I aren't going to have enough money, like anybody else's fear, to live out the rest of their lives. We don't have any children. And that's a tough thing. That's a tough pill to swallow. And it's been motivating me a lot, but sometimes I think it's too much of a fear. Sometimes I concentrate too much on it that I believe I'm blocking myself for some really great things to happen. All right, let's see. There are so many people you can learn from. Dump the ego and get busy talking to them. Yes. When you see somebody that you admire, like I talked about earlier, don't be afraid to ask somebody who you admire one of their traits, whether it's, let's just say it's keeping your cool. Let's just say you're somebody who's got a quick temper and you know somebody in your life that you see it never gets to them. Feel free, dump that ego and say, what do you do to stop yourself from saying or doing something that you're going to regret? They are more than willing to help you out and to give you some advice and to give you some sort of support. If you see somebody who's great at saving money, ask them. They love, especially successful people in their own industry, in your industry. Let's just say that you've started your own landscaping business. And there's a guy who's turned his landscaping business and from just himself doing it by himself to having a staff of 25 people. Don't be afraid to ask them. They are willing to help you out. They are willing to do that. So drop the ego and do that. How to tap into your own power. I'm working on that again. I have had very powerful moments in my life where like I kind of touched on earlier, where I've felt extremely powerful, where I could create miracles and I can do anything I want to do. And I've been lucky. I've gone, and it's not just, oh, I had a good day. I've done this for years at a time. And the only problem is that I've gone out of my power for years at a time. I kind of feel like I'm getting my power back. I kind of feel pretty good about that. I don't mind telling you that. I think you can tell. I'm feeling pretty good. Let's see here. Let's go to, there's Randall. It says, I'm that calm person. People always ask, how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? Just in one sentence. How do you do it? And I'll put that up there, Randy. How do you do that? Maybe you'll help somebody out today. I wrote this. The mediocre mindset will kill you. A lot of people, including myself, are afraid to admit that they're good enough, are afraid to admit that they deserve some really awesome things to happen. And that's just calling yourself mediocre. That's all that is. That's just accepting and reaffirming that you don't deserve it. And you really got to find a way to believe that you deserve it. And I'm here to tell you right now, if you want something, because there's a lot of people that don't have any desires or goals or dreams or want to get better as a person. There's so many people that are completely happy the way they are, and good for them if they're truly happy. I think most of them say they're happy, but they probably are just accepting where they are. And I don't think you have to do that. I think that that's just the mediocre mindset. You got to have a different mindset. You have to be able to do that. You have to be able to figure out that and talk yourself into believing and knowing that I talked about earlier, knowing that you deserve it. And I'm here to tell you, if you're on here right now, you're interested in this stuff. You deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. There's something that I live by all the time. People pleasers always get fucked. Whew. Yeah, I could go hours on that. I'm getting less and less of being a people pleaser. And like I said, this is fairly new for me, and I don't even really want to move on with it because I feel like I'm right around the corner. I feel like I'm right there. I feel like I will please all the right people. All the wrong people aren't there to be pleased, and vice versa. Not everybody pleases me. I don't hold it against them and hate them forever and troll them and everything else. I'm just not happy with them. I choose not to be around those type of people. You got to find your own squad, baby. And that includes all that. Let's see here. Martin, what is Martin saying? It's true. Yeah, it's true. Somehow we still do it. We still do it. And like I said, I hope that any of this experience, I don't want to even call it advice. I hope these experiences that I share with you, because I've taken notes. As you can tell, I've taken notes of all my experiences. I love growing. I love getting better at anything that I do. And I'm not going to keep anything from you. If I have anything that you admire or anything like that, I'm gonna pass it on. And that's the reason why I love doing this type of stuff. Like I said, I feel real alive right now talking about things like this. And that's not a message to you, that's a message to me. Feel freaking alive. This stuff I love. I can't help it. And if you're here and you love it, I love you, man. We are in each other's lives for a reason. We are. Thank you, Randy. This is true. And this is something that I had to nip in the bud real fast in my relationship, at least in my marriage. Asking for permission. Once you ask for permission, your relationship is over. Yeah. I'm going to sound like one of those self-help dudes that is down on women right now, but it has nothing to do with women. If you're a woman and you're asking your dude, can I wear this tonight? You're in the wrong relationship. If you're asking for permission, can I go to the store and get a Coke or something? You are screwed. Nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm going to the store and grab a soft drink. I'm really thirsty. You need anything? There you go. There's your permission right there. You gave yourself your own permission. Asking for permission, and that's in a relationship. It has nothing to do with a work environment. I mean, there's a boss for a reason. There's hierarchy and there's protocols that need to be met. But once you ask for permission, you are absolutely done. You're toast. Let's see here. You're right. Better to ask for forgiveness than permission. That's one. I don't even want to ask for forgiveness because I like being transparent in what I'm doing. I don't like feeling like I'm going behind somebody's back, things like that. But sometimes it's best to do it that way. Thank you, Jason. I only got, looks like just a few more. I'm going to go ahead and do these. I'm going to look at the time. Yeah, the game starts here in a little bit. If you're alive, you're relevant. True. I needed to read that one right now. This is something I'm going to go ahead and put on my computer and just remind myself this. If you're alive, you're relevant, especially in my business and what I'm going through right now at my age. People want to knock you down a little bit. You've been doing this for 30 years. You're running out of juice. You're this, you're that. No, I'm just gaining speed, bitch. I'm gaining speed in different parts of my life. And if you're alive right now, if you're feeling like you're irrelevant, like your life doesn't matter, you're full of shit. You're lying to yourself. You're alive. You mean something to somebody. You mean something to yourself. You mean something to the economy at the very least. If you're going to buy coffee, you're doing something for the economy. You're paying your taxes. This is the very lowest level ever. If you're alive, you're relevant. Don't let anybody tell you that you don't matter. That's bullshit. Okay. Let's see what this says. What do people think when they think of you? That's tough. That's a tough question. What do people think when they think of you? Okay. I'd be curious to know. If you're in the chat right now, I'd be curious to know. If you were in a grocery store today, and let's see here, let's go to this. I'm sorry there, buddy. Feel relevant, buddy. If that's what you're talking about, that's all you. It's on you. What do people think when they think of you? So if say you're at a party and somebody mentions, not Lex and Terry, okay? Somebody mentions Terry whether it's in the Lexington form or fashion, or whether it's these podcasts that I'm doing, if somebody mentions my name, what feeling comes up about that you have about me? I'd be interested to know. And if we don't do that today, I'm going to hang this off to the side here, but I'd be interested to know because I can take it. I could take the good and the bad. What do you think? I'd be, I don't really know. I wrote this down a long time ago. If you're alive, no, it's what do people think when they think of you? I'd like them to, this is that people pleaser thing. I'd like them to think something. I'd like to have some sort of emotion, If you hate me, at least I got an emotion out of you, You hate me for a reason. It stirs you up, makes you feel alive. I guess that's good. Let's see here. Lonely people scare the fuck out of me. I don't know what that means. But I do think we live in a world right now of a lot of people that are lonely. And I think those are the most dangerous people. The people that are online trolling people. The people that are, just don't have a lot going for themselves, and they're very angry about the way their life turned out, and they want to blame somebody. And I have a lot of empathy. I've had even though I've been around people, I have very lonely moments in my life. And not only do lonely people scare the fuck out of me, when I'm lonely, that scares the fuck out of me. And lonely people are very easy to brainwash. You just tell them that they're part of a club. I think you see it happening politically. I think you see it happening socially. I think you see it happening everywhere. And they do a lot of damage. Lonely people can do a lot of damage. Let's see here. Let's go to this. Let's go to Kelly. I know you are talking about doing a show that's a great idea. I don't know what show that is. Anyway, let's go to Randy here. Great guy, spontaneous and funny. That's very kind of you. That really touches me because, if that's what you truly think, I am honored. I'm honored, Randy. And I don't take what you say lightly. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Got, looks like 3 or 4 more. 4 more. Man, I've been going on forever here. I apologize. I haven't been asked to mentor people. I have been asked. I was going to say this has been an old thing. I've been asked to mentor people, and it feels great to see them become who they knew they are. This is very important to me. This might be where I'm headed. I'm not sure. I have over many years, have been asked by random people that say, hey, do you have time? I like your ideas on life. I like your positivity. I like your energy. And these are people that have dropped their ego and went and talked to me about it. And they've said, hey, I need some help. I want to mentor things. In fact, right here, let me grab this for you guys. I saved it because it's that important to me. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. I hope I still have it. Where is it? Son of a bitch. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Whoops, that's not it. It's just a black piece of paper. All right, here it is right here. This is out of a book. This is out of a book that a guy that I mentored. He came to me. He was an educator, a soccer coach, and we talked every week for quite a while. And we shared each other's dreams and goals. And when I mentor people, you get a lot of me talking about me. But it's the only way I could pass things on to you. And here's his dedication to the book. I unfortunately made a copy of it. I didn't rip out the page. I made a copy of it. It says right here, right there, to Terry James. I'm going to read it to you. This meant the world to me. A mentor, a friend, and a life changer. Thank you for pouring into me when I was running on empty. Your words sparked fire in me. Your belief gave me courage and your wisdom reshaped my outlook on what is possible. I might never have written this book without your influence. I will never forget that. Thank you for reminding me of who I am. And you know what? I'm pretty good at that. I'm pretty good at talking to you and figuring out who you really are. And I love mentoring people. Unfortunately, it can be time consuming and everything else. And I may get to that here in a little bit, but I've been doing it for a long time. So there you go. All right. Couple more real fast. God, I've been doing this for 50 minutes. I guess that's what a live stream is, right? If you're just tuning in, I'm just reading these cards that I had written down for me a long time ago. They were in a drawer when I moved, and they all hooked together by this thing, like they meant something. All right, let's see here. Keith says, I still got my steps book. Yeah, I wrote a goal book. Sold out right away. There's some support. That was people letting me know that I was on the right path. And I also took a lot of shit for it. But that's okay. That's what people do when they don't do things themselves. Integrity. There you go. That kind of goes into what's happening right now. Get a quote and go from there. Integrity. Get a quote and go from there. One of my favorite quotes, I'll just say it. Maybe this reminds me. Worrying is like praying for something you don't want. Absolutely. But integrity, nobody says, oh, he's got a lot of integrity. I mean, it really comes from you. I mean, if you've got integrity, people know it. People know. They've seen you say no to people. They've seen you help others. They've seen you welcome somebody with open arms. They've seen you stand up for yourself and get in a fight if you have to for your girl. That's integrity to me. Don't let others handle your vision. Let me save that one for a second. This is the last one. Trust. Get a quote about trust and then go from there. Trust is a big deal. Okay, let's go. Let's end with this one. This is very important to me right now. This is something that's happening right now in my life. Don't let others handle the vision you have of yourself. This is really tough because when you have an agent that's representing you, that's trying to get you jobs, they're also trying to get other clients jobs. And this isn't necessarily a knock on my agent, but I have to be honest, they don't necessarily always have your best interest in mind. Sometimes they're making a deal because they got a bigger deal they got to make for somebody else, and they want to be on that person's good side that they made a deal with you for. And when it comes to my own vision of what I'm doing here and all these little things and segments I'm doing, these are all little visions. Every little one that I have are all a little vision. And I'm not going to let people tell me that I'm horrible, that I don't have a vision, that I should be doing it a different way. Yes, I will take advice from people. I will look at the comments and go like eating on the air. I stopped eating on the air because it was pissing people off. I don't want to piss people off. I mean, if I wanted to piss people off, there's so many different ways to do it, and I will do it from time to time. But don't let any people talk you out of your vision. If you are telling your friends, hey guys, I'll use the lawn care thing. I'm going to open up my own lawn care business. What are you talking about, Eddie? You got one frickin' arm. Don't let them stop you. Don't let them stop you, Eddie. High five. But yeah, that's the way things go. That's the way things go. So, guys, I appreciate you being here with me. And if you stuck through all this, you get a brownie point. You're going to go to heaven. That's the way I look at it. If I did anything here that touched you, I don't know, they tell you to say, and I'm so embarrassed to do this. See, we talked about earlier in these cards about doing something and asking people for something. But they always tell you, ask people to share, ask people to comment, ask people to do this, do that. That's what the algorithms get going. I hate being upheld or doing something for an algorithm. And that's probably why I don't think, I'm going to do it my way. That's probably why I don't think any of these things are really going to take off because I'm just me. I don't have a staff of people. And if I ever had somebody working with me, I don't want a staff member. If any of these things that I like, and I've had people reach out to me saying, I want to work with you. And I'll say, like, what do you do? And they'll say, I just want to be a part of this. I don't, well, what does that mean? I can't hire somebody. I need somebody that's going to work with, be a partner. To be a partner that says, hey, I'm really good at video editing. I can help you out with that. I'm really good at social media. Let me post some little short videos of you. Or I know somebody here that could get you on some radio stations with this idea you have for Make It Weird or, any of these things. I just have a real hard time asking for that. And because of that, I'll say it, please like, please share and all that, but I'm definitely I'm not expecting you to do any of that. I'm not. So, guys, it's been fun. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this to actually be a thing. It was a thing. Maybe I'll start writing more of these ideas down and then bring them on the show again. We'll do a whole nother thing of this. I guarantee you my next ones are probably going to be a little more angry. All right, guys, have a great night. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.